Hello and welcome to Wyckoff Training Academy. Based on my previous video, I got some questions pertaining to V-shape correction and schematic. So in this video, I'm trying to do the analysis of I'm trying to do the analysis of stocks shared by or questions asked by the one of group member. So this is VLO chart. In this particular chart, the member asked about we have he considered this to be a phase E, and then market went up to like 40%, give or take, but it came back in and then it started its upward journey. How to deal with this kind of thing? So first of all, if he had watched my previous video that was of 48 or 50 minutes. So therein I tried my level best to make you people understand uh, why and how schematics can be used, and what are the leukemia and where we face problems in applying schematic distribution or accumulation phase analysis. So if you see, like, if this is the climatic behavior per se, for example, if this is climatic behavior, one second, if this is climatic behavior, then this has to be automatic rally or automatic reaction. The person has made a range out of it, considering this low. Then after that price came down. Then again it is testing, again came back, but never tested these levels. So in an accumulation, if we see by way of schematic, there has to be a testing taking place over here. So if price comes back and touches this level, then we can say there is a secondary testing. But if you see from this support, there is a lifting of support. That is also one part of schematic, lifting of support, and new range is being formed. So if you consider this way, then there has to be another climatic behavior. Like if this is a climax, then as per ideally, if you go with the schematic, then it has to touch at least at this point. If it is not touching that, that means there is early buying taking place over here from this particular zone or from this particular price band. So testing and again testing, final spring, you can say, give or take, give or take, there is a final spring from this particular point, and then price started rallying up. And this trader who asked me this question, this is asking for, especially, sir, this is the 40% mark, which, like, we had a good momentum towards upward side compared to previous momentum and previous momentum. So this was a positive sign that prices are going to go upwards. But all of a sudden, price came back into the range and then sustained over there and then went upwards. So this is the practical problem which every Wyckoff trader who is applying schematic faces. So I'll give you the solution of this. How I would be trading on this particular stock if I would have been trading this stock on weekly time frame. So how would I look into? First of all, I'll dissect the chart according to my general understanding of Wyckoff. This is a redistribution. Then this is an accumulation, again distribution. price coming back, testing this level, going up upward. This is a distribution coming back, testing this level, and there might be some kind of distribution over here, and accumulation over here, and accumulation over here as well. This is a distribution. This is again an accumulation, and this is a final markup, then a reaccumulation, then this is the final distribution coming back, then this entire trading range is an accumulation, and then this is a markup. After that, there in there we have accumulation, last point of supply, or last point of support or supply, whatever you want to call it, LPS, and then we are coming down, and after that, this is again an accumulation, price rallying upwards. There is test of this accumulation, this entire phase, price rallying up again. There is a test of this accumulation, and then this is a reaccumulation taking place on the last distribution phase, and then price started moving upwards. This is how I would normally assess this particular chart. So this is redistribution, distribution, distribution, accumulation, 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 here distribution, accumulation, here also reaccumulation, distribution. So how I came up with this distribution and accumulation? Simple fact, distribution in redistribution, what happens? Price comes down, price, there is a struggle to take the price upwards, then price are coming down. So I'll not get into all the because that part I normally cover in my course. So I'll not get into detail because the people who opted for course might feel offended. So this is how I assess this market. So in your accumulation and distribution, though you are doing phase analysis, there is phase analysis, but for me, I don't do phase analysis. I follow the simple idea in distribution, supply or buying or demand is exchanging hand with supply or demand. It is that simple. When there is exchange of hand, demand is getting exchanging hand with supply, prices are going to go downwards. When there is supply exchanging hand with demand, prices are going upwards. So this is how I would analyze. So now we'll move on to second chart. This was a very hard chart as per the member. This is some uptrend. Here he is pointing out some kind of climatic behavior, climatic volume over here somewhere. Sorry, over here somewhere is pointing out, and then preliminary supply, and then after that, this is climatic behavior, or this is a climatic behavior. I'm not getting this thing clear. So this is a reaction. Again, there is no testing taking place. This is neither. I'm not able to find out whether the price has touched this line or not. If it does, then this is a secondary test. If not, then this is not a test. This is a test in a spring in itself. Secondary test and spring. Then after that, momentum building up towards upside. Volume is rising. Small reaccumulation structure prior to BC. Okay, so this is the reaccumulation. what he is referring to as reaccumulation, price building up momentum, and then there is a climatic move, buying climax with ultra or like heavy volume, and then after that there is an upper range, and on after automatic rally or automatic reaction, he extended a horizontal line and made a range of profit. So now this is reaccumulation as per his say, and this is official distribution. So what is happening in distribution? This is secondary test. Okay, agreed. Sign of weakness. We are coming down. Again, price is going upward. This is a U-tag after a distribution. If this is U-tag and before like distribution, if price is going downwards, that means this is on a monthly or a six or a quarterly basis. This is a spring, or half yearly basis. This is a spring. Okay, so this in itself is doesn't make any sense. So for me, if like let's go according to your this thing. Weakness in phase B, supply increases into sign of weakness. So what he is referring to is this portion, a sign of weakness. Though this is a markdown phase of this distribution. So after that, there is an accumulation taking place over here. Last point of supply. Then this is the markup phase. Then what he is referring to as upthrust after distribution. Distribution ends when there is last point of supply or support, and price plummets downwards. So here it is not happening like that. This is a test of what happened over here and what happened over here and what happened over here. So this is a testing, and then prices has come down, and then it rallied again. This is the last point of supply. I don't know in what context is considering this as the last point of supply, either to this automatic reaction or automatic rally low, or to this particular sign of weakness. So nevertheless, this is your by this particular chart. What I can see is if you go with the um, major sign of weakness, significant effort yet price fails to overcome buying climax level. This is what he's trying to say. Agreed. This point is valid. This is clear. And on the fifth, UTAD most severe decline seen on increasing volume. This is this is this could be this is a markdown as per me. Significant markdown. And after the markdown, you see this is an accumulation taking place. Then this is LPS. Then there is some hidden reaccumulation taking place over here. Then we have a markup. So all these things are markup. I just mention M. Then we have a distribution phase taking place over here. Downwards, LPS. Then again, redistribution, LPS. Then price is coming down. So this is how I would normally look into chart if I'm trading. I'm just doing a structural analysis. I'm not applying my indicators, because unless and until I apply my tape reading toolkit, I cannot say this is actually what that is meant. Like so, like on 6 LPSY fails to even reach bottom of the trading range before large decline. So here he is referring to this one, but you never know how. Well, like is this a region wherein uh, price has stalled and it's not going to reach this level, or even this level? You cannot say that, because there is volume in supply, I guess, though there is volume in upper side also. So this, if you see the chunk of this volume, this is equal in nature. Though if I remove this thing, I'm not able to see it properly, but I can see there is only one bar, which there is one bar of volume which is standing out and which is suggesting that there is that this prior this what you can say LPSY is not going to go upwards and reach this level or this level. But if you have watched my previous video, I told you whenever there is a distribution or accumulation phase taking place, you can see swelling of volume, and here it is happening over here. So what I mentioned earlier, the example is in front of you, and you can correlate it. This is practical. This is what I am mentioning is practical, and it can be applied on any given chart. And this is the Wyckoff in 21st century, which I have I've started a course on Wyckoff in 21st century. So this is how I analyze the market. Though I don't have access to indicators on this particular chart. Now again, this is a chart wherein I guess um, he faced same kind of issue, but in a different way. So I'll change the color of I'll make it blue. This is preliminary supply buying climax, but if it is correct, this is the highest volume, and then price coming back, automatic reaction. This is a test, secondary test, up thrust, secondary test, up thrust, secondary test. This looks like more kind of a shakeout rather than this one. This is this is more than a secondary test. It's a spring. I don't know what time frame it is, but it's a spring on a higher time frame. Then again here also it is something accumulating, and then after this we have this one. This is a distribution taking place in itself. Prices are this is markdown phase, and then again prices are going upwards. This is distribution. As per me, this is redistribution. This is distribution. This is distribution. Redistribution. Downwards movement, and there is sharp fall, or no, which is normally called as knife fall or vertical V acceleration. Here you mentioned secondary test as major sign of weakness. So if this is a secondary test of major sign of weakness, then I don't know what time frame this is. If it is 5 minute or 1 minute or 1 day or 1 week or 1 month, it doesn't matter. I'll read the market in same way. Time frame charts doesn't matter. So there has to be some kind of previous history at this particular point. There has to be, because if there is a V-shaped correction, I'll get into V-shaped correction, but there has to be some history over there. So I don't have the history over here. So I'll not be in a better position to understand and on comment on that. So if this is a testing of distribution, redistribution, or accumulation area, then we have a upward movement. This is a reaccumulation, which can be easily identified as a spring, upthrust, and swelling of volume. You can see, let me draw the line over here. This is the average volume, and this is the volume we had and in this particular price area. So what I said earlier, if there is accumulation or distribution taking place, there would be swelling of volume, and there is swelling of volume taking place over here. So this gives us a sign that either we are going to go for accumulation or distribution. Given the fact we are sitting on a automatic rally point, so you can give yourself a benefit of doubt that this might be a distribution or redistribution. But when we are coming out of accumulation and there is swelling of volume and even price is making there is like for me I'll name it as effort versus result uh, by the gesture of price. So this is effort versus result, and what my bias would be that I at least once once price will test this level. Price tested, second time it has broken out. Then we have LPS. So this was a reaccumulation. This was last point of supply, and then we have this one. So this is this distribution, and again same distribution point is being tested by way of smaller distribution, and then price is coming downwards. Now, here is the point wherein you have to pay attention to. So look at this particular price action and look at the volume. I think it might. This is the volume which I'm talking about. Till this point, volume is increasing. That means we are having prices also moving in a rapid fashion. Price acceleration is there as well as volume is expanding. Then what is taking place over here? This is nothing but settling of buyers and sellers, or you can say the demand is getting absorbed by the sellers. So here people are trying to push the market, but they are encountered with uh, sell orders instantly. Like as I normally say in my trading sessions, whenever there is a buying, if somebody is buying 100 quantity or 1 lakh quantity or 1 million quantity, at the very next second, he's getting filled with 1.5 or one same quantity, 1 million quantity of shares. So that keeps the price in at this particular level. So they are holding back the price, and then this things this thing happened, and then so in every twist and turn there is some accumulation and distribution thing taking place. So it is an idea. That is the problem. I used to do this kind of thing. I used to take into account if this is the entire range. I don't know which time frame this is, but again, if whatever the time frame is, this if this is what you are looking out for, where would you plan your trade? You would plan here, 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 or you would plan here, or you would plan here. Which side or in between? So this is the practical problem which every trader faces. Though you're pushing your limits to understand the schematic, but practically, I don't want to dishearten you. I don't want to, I don't want to say anything which you will feel like I'm trying my level best and I'm not. This guy is telling me, this particular person is telling me this thing will not work. Dude, this thing will not work because this thing is impossible. This thing is next to impossible. Though there are some great traders, Roman and other people who are trying to do this thing, but it's not practical. I tried everything, but it didn't work for me. So this is how I would analyze by my way of doing this trading. And then this was the last one. How to analyze this V-shaped case. Here he is talking about this V shape with this kind of volume. How to analyze this V shape. So for this particular thing, I'll take you over to my trading view and I'll explain it over there. So just please bear with me just for 2 minutes. So the chart he asked about is VLO. VLO. I don't know which exchange it was. I think it might be. Once again, let me check. I can't find anything. Neither the prices. CEO. Sorry, my bad. It is CEO. CEO on a daily basis, I think, or on a weekly basis. Okay. So this is a V-shaped correction. Let me check again. Resume. Okay. So this is the chart. CEO Group Joint Stock Company, and this is what he is referring to as how to analyze this V shape, how to analyze this V shape correction. So I'll reduce this thing, or else I'll do one thing. Bring it up. So now, if you can see, this is what this is suggesting. My tape reading toolkit along with this one. So my tape reading toolkit is suggesting there is weak demand as we are approaching upwards. If you're talking about this is V shape correction or V shape price reversal taking place on this particular stock. So as we are approaching upwards, we had initially we had demand. If you can see this bar, demand, then we have demand, then we have demand. Now, as we are approaching upwards, there is supply demand imbalance. And with the widespread, what this bar is suggesting us, weak demand. And weak demand is uh, justified by supply bar. So this week you can say price is coming downwards. And after that, what downward process, like uh, to me, what I see is, first of all, let me check. Uh, one second, bring up my tool. So there has to be something. Okay. So this was the first peak made by this particular stock. So when it comes to peak, if you're not like, if you're not using, like I'm using this Wyckoff tape reading toolkit of mine version 155. So here I can easily assess that as we are approaching upwards, the demand is getting weaker and weaker. So at any point of time, I can see there might be a turnaround, or there might be a retracement or a pullback or a complete change in trend. As this was the first fuel, this was the first fuel. Second time we were prices were fueled up, and then this one was the third time we had a fuel backing us that prices are going to go upwards. There was an imbalance which was encountered by weak demand and a weak demand. And then all of a sudden we have this one, this entire week. If I come down to daily, there might be something which has taken place over here. Let me see which week we are into. Jan 22, 10 Jan 22. You can see as we are approaching upwards, you got this was the first signal, this was the second signal. That what this particular yellow candle suggests, when you hover your mouse over this one, it will say the prices are about to, trend is about to change, or either ways, prices will continue its previous trend. So we got two indications that prices are going to turn, and as we are approaching, you can see there is lack of interest from this particular point, or this particular point, there is lack of interest. If I look into in this manner, and there is increase in supply and weak demand testing, then supply, and this made us this made this particular stock to stall, and it altered its journey towards downward side, and then there was a restart, like there was a pullback, or you can say a correction, in a downtrend we get a correction when prices are going to go upwards. Here is a correction phase, and then if you look closely in this correction, supply, demand, supply, one demand, one, two, three demand, one, two, three, four, and this five supply bars compared to three demand bars, and all other bars are all weak bars. And weak bars are appearing after when there is strong demand bar. So what does that mean? That means the retail traders are trying to push the market, but smart money is eating away all their, or absorbing all their orders, and later on we have a downtrend or markdown phase. So this is how your V-shaped correction or V-shaped change in trend has to be addressed. If you have this tool with you, that is the reason. I'm not here to promote my tools or anything. These are the tools which I made. These are the contribution, like every trader, like David Weiss and other people, and like especially David Weiss. He's one of my finest. Like I admire and I learn. I appreciate his teaching, and I learned a lot of things from him. So he introduced Vice Wave, and I had improvised the Vice Wave into automatic version wherein you don't have to put any values. But just like David, he incorporated and developed and improvised and introduced Vice Wave. This is the tape reading toolkit which I have introduced and which I have developed during the course of my experience. So it will reduce your stress about the market, right? And it will help you in identifying which side the market has a potential to go. especially when you have this kind of yellow bars. This suggests prices are going to either go upwards or downwards and vice versa. So this is how I would analyze this particular chart. And especially over here, this is self-explanatory. If you had this tool with you, if you didn't have this tool, then it would be simple red, 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 red or green, green, green bar. Let me change the color so that it will make you a bit clearer. This side, this is the normal color. This was a green bar, red, 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 and green, red. And if I apply this one, and if I change the color of the bar, here you can say, here you can see demand, demand, demand. Now I'll change the, sorry, my bad. Demand, demand, demand. So here I'll change the setting which fits into uh, what, based on my tool, what you can see. This was the last demand. Then later on, supply, weak demand, and then supply, and which later on got converted into supply. Again, we have demand, demand, but we could not hold, at least this demand could not go above this demand and supply imbalance. So this is how I analyze the market. And in coming sessions, I would be trying to, like one person asked me how and when and where and how do you trade, where you plan your entries. My entries, exits and are well planned and they are very crystal clear. Any person with simple understanding of my indicators or my methodology or my way of teaching trading can easily identify it. So these tools are like they are a token of appreciation from all the, like this is a token of appreciation from my side towards Wyckoff method, so that people who are struggling with Wyckoff method can use them and take benefit out of it. So as your question was, how you can deal with or how one should deal with if there is a V-shape correction or V-shape things, you should, if there is no top, first you should look for a top or a bottom. If there is, this one is a fresh top or bottom, you should be looking out for how, if you have this tool with you, tape reading toolkit, then it makes your task easier in assessing whether we are losing steam or we are, if we are losing fuel or we are gaining momentum, and as well as with momentum can be assessed in terms of spread. And if fuel is also with this one, like here, it suggests we have good decent amount of volume. But my system has helped us in understanding that there is weak demand. Here is weak demand. Here is weak demand. This is demand supply imbalance, a weak supply, you can say. Weak supply and weak demand. This makes a story that we are going to see what would be a downfall of the market. This is how you should understand. You should deal with it. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope I made something clear to you. I'm trying my level best to give you best possible solution in trading. So don't take it as a like why I always say about my indicators. These are the indicators I made for my trading, and out of like it's just it's a goodwill gesture, or what you can say, a contribution towards Wyckoff work. I am sharing this indicator with everyone. If you find it useful, though sooner or later, after 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 6 years, or 10 years, you will opt for these systems, because these are the things which I had observed in my 15, 17, 17 years of experience, and I try to apply all the Wyckoff principles into it. So, if you want to explore what Wyckoff is in terms of 21st century and in terms of application, This tool is must. So if you want, you can opt for it. If you don't want, no problem. So I'm not here to promote any tools of mine. They are self-explanatory and people will opt for it. No problem. The person who understands, because this this every market like trading requires two things. One is logic. Second thing is understanding what is happening in this particular market. And for understanding what is happening in this any particular market, you have to understand, or you should know the language in which the market speaks. And market only speaks in terms of price and volume. If you know, and if you can understand what market is telling you, it will be easier for you to get an understanding and fair understanding of market and which where it is heading, which like either upwards or downwards. And if you understand which whether the bias is of uptrend or downtrend, definitely you will plan your trade accordingly and entry and exit and ISO. And in a longer run, you can make consistent income. That's for sure. So this is Kadri from Wyckoff Trading Academy. I'm signing off. And if you have any questions, please do or message me. I'll try my level best to answer you in the best possible manner. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Bye bye.